my name is Mauro D'Amato. I'm a professor of medical genetics at LUM University in Bari, in the south of Italy. I'm also an Ikerbasque research professor in bioGUNE in Bilbao, Spain. My role is primarily research, but I also do teaching for med school and also for nursing school here in Italy. In Spain, it's primarily research. Well, I guess there have been a few turning points. I've been working and studying in many countries. I worked in Italy, in England, in Sweden, in Spain, in Australia. So I guess a few turning points. Maybe, if I have to be honest, maybe the most important turning point might be when I was in my early teens. I started to get interested in comics, and I read the first Spider-Man comic, which is where Peter Parker becomes Spider-Man because he's bitten by the radioactive spider. So he was a science student, and that's what got me interested in all this, I guess. So that might be the most important turning point in my career. So what we do genetics of a complex disorder. So these are, the most common disorders that you may think of, like asthma, diabetes, Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, and so on, and some of the neurological disorders. What we do, we take data in-house from various sources, usually is large-scale studies, like the ones that have been, in fact, included in the recent publication. So these are cohorts where people have already sort of done the job. There have been already data produced, genotypic data, genetic analysis, all sorts of measures, questionnaire data, linking to the medical records of individuals. And what we're trying to do is to link certain variants, certain DNA changes in the genome with the predisposition to develop a disease. I would say this serves two purposes. The primary purpose is, of course, to identify mechanisms. Okay, if we identify the genes that are involved in the pathophysiology of a given disease, then we can try and hypothesize what could be some routes to intervene, to create compounds, drugs that can actually target this mechanism or pathways. The other one is instead to identify individuals that, because of their DNA profile, are at increased risk of developing a certain disease. This is, in fact, where medicine is sort of shifting nowadays. There's a lot of, many efforts are towards prevention in medicine. So personalizing medicine by preventing individuals at risk to develop disease. And this could be done using approaches that are based, in fact, on the genetic information and the genetic profile of individuals from the population. Well, the passion is, I guess, what drives every scientist. So it's the curiosity, it's the propensity to explore. I guess in our case, working on diseases and therefore with patients, the ultimate goal and the motivation, the most important motivation that we have compared to basic scientists is that hopefully what we do will be one day relevant to cure a disease or in any way to improve the conditions of some patients. So I would guess that at the end, the most important motivation is that that what you're doing somehow, in a minor part or a big part, will contribute to the wellness of patients. Well, outside of work, I'm a comics collector. Starting with Spider-Man. Primarily, I collect Spider-Man comics. I do sports. I love to play football, not Australian football, obviously, soccer, right? The Italian football, and then I try to spend as much time outdoors as possible with my family. We have a motorhome, and every weekend, whenever we have some free time, the whole family. We try to travel somewhere, and this hopefully will happen until the kids will get bored and will not want to come with us anymore.